Please, can you hear me? Okay, okay, thanks. Abeg, this class will be interactive. I'll ask some questions also, and I'll like see your response also. Yeah, they're just few, so we should go smoothly. Yeah. So let's go straight into it. Yeah. So firstly, yeah, let me introduce myself. I'm Dantrua, a software engineer and a student of University of Lagos, and I'm going to be one of your tutors for this. I'm going to be one of your tutors for this track. Yeah, React. So firstly, I'd like to ask Ovi, what do you know about React? Like, I read about React at all. Do you know anything about React or web development or anything like that?
Good morning, Tanu. Well, in all honesty, I've used React a couple of times. I have about two projects on React already. I just need to like smoothie my React, like make it better.
Oh,
That's
please,
why I'm
I
trying.
speaking. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Hello? Can you hear me?
Mm.
So I can hear you. I don't know
Ah,
whose network is
maybe it's from me.
bad, sir.
Let me almost go leave and rejoin. Let me leave and rejoin. I think it's from me.
Okay, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Okay, I think I should be audible now. Okay, can you like try speak again? Let me see if I can hear you.
Sorry, please come again. Hello? Hello?
Wow. I can't hear
I can hear
anything.
you. Oh my god.
Wow. What's going on?
Danny's network is terrible.
Yeah, it's most likely network.
Oh my god.
I can't hear anybody.
We can hear you. Who are all these people say?
Okay, I think we just use the chat instead. I don't know why I can't hear anyone. Oh, we use the chat instead. Okay.
Can hear you, Tani, but don't know what's going on your end.
Oh, okay, okay, cool. So okay, what do you know about React? What do you know about web development? Like, can you just give me a brief score? It's not what you know. Okay, while we're waiting for the plan school days, my boss and Benedict is gets ready. I just don't have like a rough idea of what you all know about it. And yeah. Okay, I think everyone can just put it in the chat. Like you can just type in the chat. While we're doing that, the material we're going to be using for this school for this session is going to be the B3 schools. Let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, suggest library. Yeah, we can call it just library though, but there's been an argument on it whether it's a framework because you build like it's like a foundation where you build on top. But I think that's cool also. Wait, can you all see my screen? Like if you can see my screen, just give an emoji like a thumbs up or something. Okay, okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks. Okay. So okay. So Ovi, I'm still waiting for you. Or yeah, or we should come back to you later and just move on with class. Okay. Oh, cool, cool, cool. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's go straight into it. So like I said, we're using W3 schools for this tutorial and we focus on the React session. I'm telling you this so that you can also check it out. Like we have 6 hours every week and we know need to cover everything that we intend to cover. But if you like you read ahead, like go through the slides or this documentation ahead, you should really do well. So yeah, this stuff is not really cool. I can't really guys. Let me just split my screen so I will see. So God are big, our boss. Yeah. So React is a JavaScript library for building user interfaces. React is used to build single page applications and allows to create usable UI. Yeah, that's just basically what React is. Like it goes on the principle of functional programming where you can divide everything on your web page into components, into functions. Yeah, that's what they mean by reusable UI components. No, 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 no. It's like the highest. I don't know. You have to check it later. Maybe I've done something. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Ah, fuck. Yeah, I think I should see you guys now. Yeah, I muted the site. Can someone try to speak?
Okay, are you hearing us now?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you now. Thanks, thanks. I muted the site. But, yeah, cool. Thanks, man. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, so it's just for building. I was talking about is taking the principle of functional programming. Yeah, where everything does a particular function. Like everything can be is created once and can be reused when it's just being called. That's what React is just use build upon. So React allows us to create reusable components. So in React, we look at everything by as components. Don't worry on plant coders if you don't understand confidence, if you don't understand what I'm saying now, but as you go deeper, like you understand. But I just want you to like get the knowledges and get and just start hearing it so you have an idea. So like we can give this web page as an example. We can see that in React we see everything as components. You can see this as a component, this button as a component, this button as a component, this whole section. You can see they are divided. Like you can see these are the components, these are the components, and this whole section is components. Yeah, that's how we see it in React. And single page applications. The concept of single page applications is just you can see as moving like moving around. The only place that is changing actually is this component. Unlike your normal web page, when you click on something and the whole web page goes back to your server to go and request the whole this thing. In React, only the particular components that needs change, it just gets refreshed, just gets requested for from your MS code from your server. Yeah, so let's just go straight into it. So this is just an example of a React code. Like this is let me hide this. This is like the most minimal example of React code. And you can see whenever importing React from React, importing React DOM, function hello, this is a component, and you can just see we're rendering and we're creating a boot, a React DOM, like we're creating the root. So just look at this. I'm gonna give you like five minutes so much, like you need to look at this and just ask yourself questions, sure. It really helps though. Like so as you move on, you get to see the patterns and merge them together. That's how I think. Okay, yeah, so let's just check out an example of what this do. Yeah, so you can see this just returns the H1 hello world to the browser. Like it returns the page with the H1 hello world. Unlike your normal HTML where you have to start creating what's called your HTML script for each page and everything. This one just does that automatically. Yeah. So yeah, let's go straight into it. Um, what is React? React sometimes referred to as a front-end JavaScript framework. It's a JavaScript library created by Facebook, and it's a tool for building UI components. We looked at that, and how does it work? We looked at this earlier when I said it like creates a must go. It fetches the old web page, but only refreshes what needs to be changed. But in the right way, we see that it creates a virtual DOM in the memory. And instead of manipulating the browser's DOM directly, React creates a virtual DOM in the memory where it does all the necessary manipulation before making changes in the browser DOM. And we can see here, React only changes what needs to be changed. It finds out what changes you have made and changes only what needs to be changed. That's just the very good thing about React. And the issue of React, we need to look at this. So the issue of React, the current React version is React version 18. Initial release in the public was July 20, 2013, and it was first used in 2011 for Facebook newsfeed feature. Facebook software engineer Jordan Walke created it, and we for starters we're going to be using the Create React app to build a React application, but the other ways we can build it is in other tools like Vite and so on. But we'll start to create React app. So to use React, there are some things you need in your system, and one of it is I'm sure you all have your ID of preference and also Node.js. Yeah, you need those your ID of preference and Node.js. Well, if you don't have any, I suggest you just install Visual Studio Code. Let me check for Visual Studio and Node.js. I'll share the link now to the group, to the chat. Sorry. Oh, you have it. Okay, please. We can be talking like we're just few, so I don't think it's going to disrupt. Like if you just want me just want to talk. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So yeah, so the quickest way to start learning React is to write React directly in your HTML files, and you can start by including three scripts. For the first two, let us write React code in our JavaScript, and the third Babel allows us to write JSX syntax and ES6 in our old browsers. So these are just CDNs. Like instead of installing the old package, so you can just use this CDN. And CDN are just links. Like you link it to wherever you want to use it. You can just use it directly there. And this is still the same. And this is still the same on Moscow. The same results where we can see over here the React developments on package and React DOM. And we can see how Babel can I also write in JSX, and also you can see React is a JavaScript stuff. Then we create our function inside our script tag. I'm sure you already know this, like your HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So you create our function inside our script tag, and get these elements. I'm sure you understand this. Make it the roots on we create make the root on our React DOM and we render these components there. Yeah. Please, if you have any question, you can always ask. Like you can ask where I'm going. So yeah, that is basically it on React. Like on the introduction to React, like it's not going to take time and it's just straightforward. So let's start. The first we um yeah. So we're going to start with just as we're going, I'll just be doing it. So we're going to do it together. Um, let me- so I'll create a new folder. We'll call this MLS React. Yes, so the first one I'm going to look at is creating a React app. And remember earlier when I stated that we I said that we are going to use Create React app for now. And the other is Disha. But we're going to use Create React app for now here. So the way we just did is we just do npx create React app and the name of the React app you want to create. Yeah. And name of React app you want to create. Let's call it what should we call it? Let's call this Hello World or Hello. If this is your first time like ever using React on your particular system, it may take you a while. Like you need to create React app. It may take you a while, sometimes minutes. But we just hold on. Yeah. So you can see it created the app inside this folder. So while that's going on, let's just continue over there. Mm. So confidence, what do you use to create Reactor? Like, what's the answer for this question?
First one. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What do you say?
I said it's the npx create react app, then the name of the app. That's my team.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. Nice one. So, yeah, all this stuff on that's yeah, another important thing we need to look at before we start being deep and building stuff is ES6, React ES6. And what is EX6? ES6. ES6 stands for Emacs Script 6 and Emacs Script Emacs Script was created to standardize JavaScript and ES6 is the latest version of Emacs Script. It was published in 2015 and that's why I know it as Emacs Script 2015. But I will just call them ES. Yeah. So this yes, it really helps us. This is it really helps us because they created some new features like arrow functions, classes, variables, variables are there before. Array methods, yeah. Especially these arrow functions and array methods, the structuring, ternary operators, spread operators, like they're really, really important in React applications. But first, I'm going to look at classes. Um, yeah. So a class is just a type of function. Simple. But instead of using the keyword function to initiate it, like we used over here, this guy's filling out my system. Instead, like we used over there, instead of using that, we just use let's see, yeah, we just use class and the properties are assigned inside the constructor method, just like this. So mm, notice that the case of the class name we have begun with it starts with the capital, like with an uppercase is capitalized, and this is just this convention for naming classes. And we can just see class as objects. Yeah, basically, we can see class as objects, and objects are just like the name implies, like objects, like things, like normal things. They have attributes and they have functions. And what I mean by that, like this class now, you can see it has a name. You can also have it has a brand. You can also have different things like you can have a color, you can have whatever. You can also have functions like you can drive it and whatever. So yeah, that's what a class is. But since you all know JavaScript, so I don't need to really go deep into that. And they have methods for the classes also. I'm sure you'll do that. Where you can use a method to perform certain actions in your class. And we have class inheritance where a class is and we have arrow functions. Instead of your normal implementation of the function like this, you don't need to put the function. Like, you can just use the arrow straight up and so on like that. Yeah, and it really helps to make it easy. So I think we all know this from JavaScript. I'm just doing my thing. We all know this from JavaScript, right? Like variables, array methods like map, and so structuring spread operators, modules, antenna operators. Are we all fine with that, or should I go through it again?
And you can go through it, sir.
Okay, okay, cool. Yeah, so these arrow functions, then what it just does is it allows us to write cleaner and shorter function functions. Like instead of writing hello equals to function, blah blah blah, like we already know it's a function. Why we not write a function? Like it's a lot of redundancy. You can just do it like this and it will still do the same. You still have the same effects, which is what you want to return hello world. And you can even make it shorter using arrow functions by removing these brackets like these guys and just make it like this and we'll still get the same stuff. And yeah, that just is on arrow functions. And for variables, um before ES6 there was only one way to define variable with the var keyword. If you didn't if you did not define them, they will not be assigned to the global object unless they were in strict mode. Then you will get an error if a variable was undefined. But now with ES6, we can there are three ways of defining variables, and we have our var, let, and const. So var and let are a bit similar, while const is for constants, but we'll look into it now. Um, for var, yeah, these are we define our variables in JavaScript. Yeah, we use the keyword, the variable name, and the data we want to pass into the variable. And always remember passing something to the variable. We're passing it from right to left, like the value at the right is happening inside what's at the left. Yeah, just see your variable as a bucket or a container. They are storing things inside. Two, if you use your var, if you use your var outside of the function, it belongs to the global scope. If you use your var inside the function, it belongs to that function. And if you use your var inside of a block, that's e.g. That is a loop, the variable is still outside of that block. What this just trying to tell you is just trying to tell you about scoping. Yeah. Like when you create a function, a variable inside a function, like your var keyboard inside must go a function, it belongs to that function, which is normal. Like you can see, like when we are creating, let's say a function. Let me give an example. Let's clear this. I'll just assume this is a JavaScript file. That is not clear. Yeah, so for when you're creating like something inside a function, like let's say const shouts. I'm just using the arrow syntax now. I want this is return um no, let's do ah, fuck. Const shouts this not so let me my notepad. Sure about these guys. My notepad. Yeah. So const shout is collecting name, and what it just does is it returns let's see um, see this small girl, then the name. No, let's now just use this. Yeah. So this variable name is only limited like to this, and even if you create another variable, let's say var, as long as you use this var keyword, if you create another one, like let's say capitalize cap, let me call it cname, finish small letter, cname, and it's going to be the capitalized version of name, and we are returning out cname here. This cname and this name is limited to this scope. So even if I try to like log out, if I try to like log out, let me just log out name here, like it's not going to work because it's inside this function. That's what they're just trying to say. in scoping. But if I should keep name, I created name. Let's say I created name over here. And I say name is equals to school. Then this will be able to access it, and this should be able to access this, and once I log out name here, it should be able to be accessed like it's global. That's what they're just trying to see. So let's call let's see just like var, and it's also you just the block school version of var, and it's limited to block. It's basically like Barsha. You don't really need to stress yourself about it. Well, most times what we use now is let. And we have const for constants. And once something has been created with const, you know, once something has been created with const, like it can't be modified. Just for constants. So Ovi, what's been the answer for this?
The only one that is not legal is CON. That's con, the third one.
Yeah, correct. And what can you say about the rest?
Well, ES6 this assigned variables include lets and const. Lets allows you to like define a variable that can be defined later. While
Mhm. I see something.
sorry, did you get that?
No, I only stop here when you say let's can be. What do you mean define what let's is useful?
I said lets can be to define a variable that can be defined later, like that is mutable.
Yeah.
While const defines a variable that cannot be changed at any time. Once we define with const, we can no longer redefine that particular variable.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just taking you guys through all this because most people don't jump into React and they don't actually know what this stuff to do. Then they get confused and end up just giving ChatGPT to do what they want to any task they want to do for them. Meanwhile, this will just save you it's like make things a whole lot easier for you. You can just count down minutes. Nice one, Obi. So array methods also. There are many array methods in JavaScript, but one of the most useful ones is .map. And what .map just allows you to do is to run a function on each item in the array and return a new array as a result. That's just what .map does. And this is an example. So you can see we have an array of fruits here, and over here we want to like print what we're just doing is from this array, right? We want to run a function through this array, and we're mapping through the array, right? And we want to achieve this function in this. Meanwhile, we're creating a new array of my list with what we've done, sure. And item, remember, item is local scoped, so it just means what is being passed into this function. And we get, and we're returning a paragraph of item. So once we do that, this is what we're just going to get Apple, since we're rendering it in the DOM. And then it gets this list of paragraphs. If you add another one, my I can't say this two. But if you have another one, sure. If you add maybe banana, apple, orange, mango, you're just going to keep on adding like that. Yeah. So the structuring. So the structuring to illustrate the structuring will make a sandwich. Do do you take everything out of the freezer to make your sandwich? No. You take out items you take out the items you would like to use on your sandwich. the structuring is exactly the same. We have an array of objects that we are working with, but we only need some of the items containing this. The structuring makes it easy to extract what we need. So what you're talking about is the structuring, and the structuring, like the name implies, breaking things down. Like we don't need everything in a particular array. Like this is just an example of the structuring in an array. You can take exactly what you need from the array without like stressing, and it goes down not only to array but also different data types too. Like I think objects also. And the way we do it, instead of doing it this way, like then car and whatever, you can just do it like this. I use yeah, you can just do like this. This like syntax really give me a dig at some points, but with time I just got used to it. Where instead of the normal what's called Russia slow. Instead of the normal um you have right to the left. Instead of normal right to the left, you just do normal scroll left to right, but it's still the same. We are still putting the values inside here instead of here also. And when the structure in arrays, the order that the variable is declared is important. Like you are seeing over here. Like if you kept truck here instead of car, like if you saw this too, it's going to get out. It's going to almost affect what we want to achieve because the value of truck will now be inside car and the value of car will be inside truck. So yeah, if once the car and SUV, you can just simply keep a comma, still following the same structure, and so on. Yeah, the same thing was done on array and we're getting
Sorry, please. Could you guys go back a
yeah.
little? My network like went out. My network like went out for a while, and I didn't get that.
Oh, okay, okay. So what I said was we're
Thank you
talking
very
about the
much.
structuring. Yeah, no, that's not me. We're talking about the structuring arrays, and I was just breaking down that the structuring is just you give an example of like when you want to, let's say you want to prepare food now. Like let's say you want to prepare um ogbono, right? You're not just going to take everything in your freezer and bring them out because you want to prepare ogbono. What you're going to do is where you are going to look at I don't know the ingredients of preparing too. Oh, we're going to look at what you need. I shall know meat is there. So we're going to look into the freezer and pick out meat and pick out fish and stuff like that. Yeah. So the same thing in the structuring. The structuring just a way of getting exactly what you want and not taking everything. Like you can see in this example for vehicles, we just wanted car, truck, SUV, and that's what we just got. We wanted the first, second, and third. So what the structuring does is that it assigns the value inside vehicle, following this order to the variable name we are listing here. That's what the structuring does. And some if we don't want to pick like everything, we can just leave a comma in place of what we don't want. Like a comma and an empty store, following the same order. We should note that we're following the same order. And this is an example of a use case where we can see the structuring taking place. Add, subtract, multiply, divide, and but by returning this array and by using the structuring to get what you want over here. But if I like instead of subtract, I keep let me code this. Instead of subtract, I keep this thing add here. I keep subtract here. Then I run this. You see that it's just going to mess everything up because yeah, it's really hell bent on the other things that have been created or declared. And yeah, so remember when I said the structure you can use for different stuff. This is an example for objects also. Like the old way of using an object inside a function is when you define the object falsely, then after the object's name, you create an instance of the object, then the object type does what you want to get, whether it does color, dot type, and whatever. But with the structuring, you can just pass in the object and get what you want to get as long as the name is here. You can just get what you want to get directly. I'm going to be looking using that very well in React, especially when we're using props and yeah, when we're using props and so on. Sure. So we also have nested destructuring also. And the nested destructuring, just like the normal destructuring, but we can just see that for registration, just put in registration here and what we want from registration. I think we should take a look at that. Once we want for registration. So if it's was country wanted, country, you can just guess like that, and once we run it, it's going to show what's wrong with this guy still. Country. Oh, yeah, so we're getting error because I was using country and I was asking for country here and here I was putting state. So we can see my master is registered in ESC. That just nested the structuring. So confidence, what should the answer of this be? Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, I think. I don't know if he's hearing you, but I can hear you.
Oh, she's not here. Okay. Hola, hola, welcome. Um, hola, please. When did you join? That's all an idea.
Let's say about 15 minutes ago. But I was having network issue. So I had to
Oh,
switch.
oh. Okay. Obi, so what do you think the answer of this one will be?
It will be the last one since we are trying to access Mike as the variable of X.
Okay, so why is it the last one? Like, why not this one? Everything else X now.
Yeah, but then it is the last one because of the commas. The first comma tells the first. If it was like the first one, it would have been referring to just Jane. The second one, it would have been referring to John. But being that there are two commas before the X, it's referring to Mike. Basically, I think that's how the structuring works.
Yeah, that's totally correct. That's totally correct. So Ola, don't worry. I think we are recording this session, so you'll be able to get the recording. I think so. Share the recording. So you get the recording. So let's
All
go.
right.
Yeah. So spread operator. This is another lovely thing about ES6. Also spread operator. The spread operator allows us to quickly copy all parts of an existing array or object into another array or object, and it's just like this, like chicken out, just straightforward. Instead of putting them on by one, we can just do this, and you can see we just get like for this example now we're combining array numbers 1 and numbers 2. We just need spread operators and get everything inside here. And other examples of spread operators is um Okay, this is just showing combining spread operator and big structuring. When we assign the first and second items from numbers to variable and put the rest in an array. So I think what this does is it just like assigns the first, like we said, the first one that is here, the second one that is here, and the rest. Since they're an array, it just keeps all of them in an array. And don't be confused by this rest, it can be anything. If I keep it as remainder, and I put remainder, and I run it, it's still give us the same effects. The main stuff about this is just these three dots. Like that's the spread operator. So once I remove the three dots, if I print it, see that it only gives me the third value. And that just is basically, yeah. So you can use the spread operator for objects too, and it does the same stuff. Whereby now once to update the vehicle, so we are combining the value of my vehicle and update my vehicle, and we just get this thing that has everything inside it. So console update my vehicle. If you check our console, um, you can see we have everything inside. You can see we have our brand, color, model, type from here. What else here again? Like inside the same objects now. Yeah, where I'm getting so pretty much. Okay, so Ola, what do you think the answer would be for this one? And please can you
I
hear
think
me?
the second one.
Wait, why is it the second one?
I'm just guessing now.
Don't get so you have to be sure. So it's the second one because this is actually the spread operator, like just dot dot dot. Like that just it. It's not plus plus plus, it's not hash hash hash. That just it. So yeah. My system is about to die. Oh fuck. So I think we just do modules and ternary operators, then that would be all for today. Then next class we'll look into React render, HTML, JXS, and components. After which we know that so we can start building projects. But yeah, I'm going to give you guys assignments on what you've learned so far, and something also to test your knowledge on JavaScript. So yeah, that's just basically. So sorry that we have to end this class earlier. I know what happened. I had to do something yesterday night, so I couldn't charge. Yeah, so modules, JavaScript modules allow you to break up your code into separate files, and this makes it easier to maintain the code base. ES6 relies ES6 modules rely on the import export statements. So okay, if you can remember the almost code I showed you earlier, you and Confidence earlier, where we had a this thing inside a particular, just like a block of code, then we had imports. I think it was imports React from blah 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 blah, and so that's just the concept of modules. That just bringing in what's called linking a particular code base, like a particular file with your file. That just is basically. So this concept of modules just allows you to have two separate files or have a file with a to access a particular function from a particular file, particular code from a particular file, and bring it directly into your file. Yeah, that's just it basically. And to export a module, to be able to do this, you should be able to export, like use export statements in the file you want to export from, and you can do this by just creating a module with normally you create your JavaScript file and fill it up, then export it. And there are two types of exports. The named exports and the default exports. So the named exports are created in two ways. You can do them inline, like once you create your what's called whatever you want to create, whether it's a function, whether it's a variable, once you create it, you just put exports behind, like when you create it, or you just export everything all at once using these brackets. And take note of the type of brackets. It's not your conventional type of brackets, it's like your calling one, the one used for your objects. Yeah. And we have the default exports. Default exports is just like something for us to fall back to. Like if something is not available, there should be a default one. Like just as default states. So you can only have one default export, just like your phone only has one default mode, or your car always has one default mode. Like once you turn on the key, switch the key, it has to turn on. That's the default mode. You cannot do that once you turn on the key. You should start reversing, or you should start doing the sound only. No, it only has one default mode of switching it on. That's just the same thing as the default export. So you only have one default export in a file, and the default export just does what just exports what is stored to export, like, and it's defined like this: exports defaults whatever I want to export, whether it's a function or a variable or whatever. And to import also, there are two ways of importing almost called into a file, and it's based on whether those things you want to export were exported in the default way or with the named exports. So if they're exported in the named exports, you have to use the structuring to import them. And you know some of the structuring is now, but you just did like this, like name, comma, age, just the same way they used. And note, since they already had like a value, like a name, like a variable name, yeah, and so on, you don't need to do them like according like in the right this thing. The only time you need to do that is for arrays. But since this is not, it's really like an object, you can just import it with the name that it was exported with in the other form, and keep aside the curly brackets. But if it was exported in the default way, you don't need to use curly almost well curly brackets. You just put the name of what you want to import directly on this. And the other way of importing, they didn't even put everything. You can import all from this file, but that's just going to make your application meaty. Then you start accessing everything one by one. Well, that's going to make an application meaty. But let's just stick to what we have now. And the last thing we're looking at other ES6 is I love this thing so much. Ternary operator. Like it makes your code very cleaner and easier to understand. So you all know your if and else statements here. And this ternary operator is just a cleaner way of representing if and else statement where you put your condition, your expression, what you should do if your expression is true, and what should you do if your expression is false. And it just condition question mark if expression is true, colon if expression is false. I just see it basically. So this is just an example. Like instead of doing this, let's check out. Instead of doing this, like instead of doing this like this, authenticated render up if this render up is true. If authenticated is true, render the app, else
I think maybe his laptop has gone off.